Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my UFC 207 review for Friday, December 30th, 2017. Well, it took place on Friday, as this video is going up. It's probably early Saturday morning right now. Happy New Year's Eve, the last day of 2016. And speaking of last of the year, this is not just my last UFC review of the year. It's also my last overall video for 2016. And this was the last UFC broadcast for Joe Rogan's co-partner, Mike Goldberg, who's been with the company since '97 with new ownership. It was inevitable that one of the two would leave. Even Rogan threatened to leave, but he's staying on it, and Goldberg left. He wasn't the best play-by-play in the world, but his calls were great. Like, it's all over. Probably said that a lot of times tonight, especially, main event. That included the big return of the rowdy one, Ronda Rousey. And got knocked out again. As a person that a lot of people went off, shocked the world again. As you see by my subtitle. Plus, we had another championship match that would crown a new champion. So, a lot of big things happening tonight. So, this pay-per-view, the first two fights of the main card were like, yeah. But the last three, especially the co-main, were really good. So with the stream of the three big matches, the last three, I'll give this pay-per-view about 6.8. These pay-per-view for the last one of the year, because 206 was not that bad. A lot of people went off 206. I didn't make a proper review for that, because I had to get up. I was a little tired. I had to get up a little early next day or something, but so I make a review for 206, which was not bad. But this one being only the second time UFC's had a pay-per-view on a Friday on New Year's Eve weekend, because New Year's Eve was a Saturday. Because you had Brock Lesnar against Overeem. And Overeem beat Lesnar. An unstoppable monster. And once again, an unstoppable monster got beaten down again. So, there you go. Interesting fight night, which kicked off in our first fight in the catchweight division, a catchweight fight, because Borg missed weight. It started trying to hip fix again. And he should go up to middleweight. I think he wants to. And he lost. It was Borg taking on Smolka. It was 130 since Borg didn't make the weight for his class flyweight. So this fight was okay. Opener. Borg, even though he didn't make weight, he was dominant in this fight. With the takedowns, smothering Lewis with the submission attempts. It was getting one-sided. Smolka didn't do much. He had a couple punches in, but Borg was just on top of him. Takedowns, submission attempts throughout all the rounds, which led to his unanimous decision victory. This one gets about a 2.3 for me, just because it was just my usual phrase for UFC reviews. For those of you watching my UFC review for the first time, is decent action, not much excitement. And that's what this fight was. Kind of a one-sided fight, a little bit of good grappling, but not a lot of excitement, and like I said, one-sided. Even if Borg won, he'll probably lose money because his opponent got much of his purse because he missed weight. Next up, in the welterweight division, we had the stun gun. Tarec, Saffiedine. Hope I said the name right. Oh, Saffiedine. And this fight was a little better than the first fight. As both guys struggled for positioning. Both guys had some good striking here and there. Better striking, more stand-up than the first fight. Because first fight was more of a takedown battle, where Borg dominated. But it's more a striking battle. With Tarec going with some good striking and it was tough to score the fight. Because they kind of danced around for 15 minutes. It was kind of like a fight not to lose fight. Another term I like to use on these reviews is when two fighters just dance around the ring for 15 minutes or 25 if it's a title fight or main event and don't do shit. And it was kind of tough to score with Kim winning by split decision over Tarec. I think Tarec should have won, in my opinion. I think Tarec had more aggressive striking, but I always say this about split decision fights sometimes. if the decision is split, they didn't do shit. And that's kind of what happened, with this fight. A little better than the first, but it was tough to score because both guys didn't do a lot of things to the other guy to suffice who won. But I think Tarec got a little more effective striking, but Cam won. A lot of people debate about that. It'd be bad judges if there were referees during the U of M game tonight. Go blue, but damn, they blew that game. Referees and bad calls. Bad calls against U of M and not capitalizing on big plays. Training the quarterback. Anyway, so for this fight, I think I gave the first fight 2.2. I'll give this one 2.4. Now, on to the best 3 fights of the night. It was interesting that in UFC 206, the third fight was the best fight of the night, which was Cub Swanson and Doo-Ho Choi. But the third fight was not the best overall, but it did start the trend of good fights throughout the evening after the first two were just okay. It was a bantamweight fight, probably a fight to determine the next number 1 contender, as former champion DJ Dillashaw taking on John Lineker. Dillashaw wanted to look aggressive in this fight after Dominick Cruz, the bantamweight champion, ducked him and decided to fight Cody Garbrandt instead for various reasons. And Dillashaw made Cruz eat his words and wanted to get a title shot so badly and dominated John Lineker throughout the 3 rounds. And this was a championship eliminator fight because these two are like the top 5 guys. I'm not the biggest fan most of the time of these title eliminator fights. The championship eliminator fights, these number 1 contender fights, because sometimes the person who won, even though they won the fight, they didn't deserve to win and didn't deserve a title shot because they didn't, they would undershot, but they wouldn't. Sometimes the winners of these fights doesn't deserve a title shot because they didn't look good in that fight. They didn't show us they deserve a shot at the champion because they didn't put on a good performance. Not in this case. DJ Dillashaw proved he wanted a new title shot and was dominant over Lineker, like I mentioned. He just smothered him with good striking and takedowns. Lineker tried his best in his fight, gave it a good shot, because I like both these guys, but I like Dillashaw because he's a former champion. He stood one on Balboa about a year or 2 ago and wants the title back, and he just looked like a machine tonight with some big time moves. Big ground and pound. Knocked him down a couple times. As Dillashaw got the victory by unanimous decision. A lot of the first 4 rounds went all the rounds. Besides, the main event was the only one that didn't end at the 3rd round. And he just, like I said, Lineker tried his best. He went forward a little bit, but Dillashaw, a lot of takedowns in the fight. And he had a game plan. He had the takedown attempts, and he got him down, and it just destroyed Lineker. The takedowns and the ground and pound. So I get his fight a 3.0. It was the first exciting fight of the night that led towards the best fight on the main card of co-main event. So now on to the co-main for the Bantamweight Championship, the men's Bantamweight. I think it's the first time ever that the men's and women's title in the same division were co-main and main. Because we had men's Bantamweight and women's Bantamweight. So the men's Bantamweight, we had Dominick Cruz defending his title against Cody Garbrandt. Now, Garbrandt is a member of the training camp with one of Cruz's longtime rivals, Uriah Faber, who just honorably retired. And these two have been talking smack for weeks and even got it on almost at the weigh-in on Thursday. And then these two faced off, and it lived up to the hype a little bit. It wasn't as exciting as it should have been, but it was still an exciting fight, with Dominick looking good in the first 2 rounds because he's very elusive, this Cruz guy. Except I saw one fight when the other guy didn't hit him. And both these guys are elusive. Both guys struggled to hit the other. It's very thinking man's fight. But then the 2 okay rounds for Cruz. With Garbrandt going forward but not able to hit Cruz that much. Got a few things in. But he really came alive in the 3rd round. That's when it really kicked up a notch as Garbrandt really dominated the third round and got to hit Cruz significant times. Like, he got Cruz a couple times in the first 2 rounds, but not significant hits. He got very much significant hits in the third round that bloodied up Cruz. And the Cruz bleeding started from a headbutt. And that eye cut, yee! Not the sickest eye cut I've seen, but one of the sickest I've seen. Because after the headbutt, Cruz just got nailed by Garbrandt. In the third round was very more exciting. Third round and fourth round, the best exciting rounds of the fight. When Garbrandt came alive, he bloodied up Cruz and he just wailed on him, knocked him down a bunch of times in the fourth round. But Cruz would quickly get up. You know, every time Cruz got knocked down, he just got up quickly. And every time Garbrandt would go for a takedown, Cruz tried to be elusive still. But he cannot deny that Garbrandt wanted the kill. He threatened a knockout. And he almost got it a couple times. You know, he knocked down the champ a couple times. Specifically in the third and, more importantly, the fourth round. Fifth round was more like a celebration rally for Garbrandt. A premature celebration. As he just walked around Cruz for the last round. And Cruz tried his back to keep his title alive in that fifth round, but Garbrandt just came out striking more with more significant strikes, which would lead to the victory. And a new Bantamweight champion, Cody Garbrandt, still undefeated. Gives one a 3.5. It's the best fight tonight on the main card for sure. For sure. And now with Dillashaw winning his fight, it makes logical sense to give Dillashaw the next shot. Because Dillashaw wanted Cruz. You know, he lost to Cruz in January. He wanted a rematch. But Cruz decided to fight Garbrandt instead and lost the title. And now it's time for TJ to get his long-awaited title shot. And he earned that title shot tonight. Because usually that city's title contender fights, and the guy who wins, he earned the victory, but he didn't deserve a shot because he didn't show us in his performance. It was a lackluster performance. It was a fight not to lose performance. Of what I haven't said that much. I did a little bit. But DJ Dillashaw didn't play fight not to lose. And he will probably get the next shot against the new champ, Cody Garbrandt. And now on to our main event. The women's bantamweight title. As the Rowdy one, Ronda Rousey returned for the first time in over a year since her devastating loss to Holly Holm and taking on the new champ, Amanda Nunes. When we knew Rousey was going to return eventually and get a title shot. But who would have known that the title holder, when she came back, would be Amanda Nunes? Because the women's bantamweight title, ever since Rousey lost the title to Holm, the women's bantamweight title has been tossed around like hot potato about as many times as the Raw women's title lately, in more time. Because the women's bantamweight title has switched hands 3 times in about a year since Rousey lost it. And the women's title on Raw changed hands about 8 times, 4 times in 3 months. I'm trying to make a joke here about the bantamweight title being tossed around like a hot potato as much time as the Raw women's title in more time. You know, about a year. So Rousey would make a return, and people were already predicting a Rousey victory. They was like, oh, Nunes is just a paper champion. You know, Rousey's going to get a title back. You know, Rousey was going to get the titles that she never really truly lost. You know, and Rousey didn't do any interviews much, and kept a sad face about it, and she wanted the title back. And a lot of people thought that was going to happen. And Nunes was just a paper champion and just keeping it warm for Ronda Rousey. But Rousey fans should have known one thing, especially learning from the Holly Holm fight. Rousey does not do well against strikers. That's her weakness. And boy, oh boy, was that weakness exposed yet again tonight. Amanda Nunes did what Holm did in quicker time. Knocked out Ronda Rousey. Well, let's say TKO. Ronda Rousey. She just came out of the gate because Nunes knew that there was a lot of attention on Rousey, that she was being written off and she was being cast aside and no one gave her a chance in hell. Unbeaten the unstoppable Ronda Rousey. But she was already proved she's human by losing before. And once again, she got beaten by a striker like Holm. Not a kickboxer per se, but a nasty striker in Nunes. And she knew that coming in, that people were already picking Rousey. It was automatic, anticlimactic. But Nunes shut all the critics up by just pounding the hell out of Rousey early. And Rousey didn't do nothing. Like, if Rousey gets hit first, she gets nervous. That's what happened with Holm. When she was up against Holm, she was like a scared little girl. In there, she couldn't do anything. She tried for the arm bomb against Holm, but then she just got pounded on. And she lost in the second round of that fight. This time, it was 48 seconds. Nunes was just tearing up. Rousey was bleeding from the nose, and she was just pounding and pounding. And Rousey has no offense. She can't really strike. She's more of a submission gal. And referee stopped it in 48 seconds. Hell, this main event was shorter than Lesnar Goldberg at the Survivor Series. So, Nunes shocks the world again. Because, Holm beat, was talking about the hot potato. Holm beat Rousey. Then Tate beat Holm. Then Nunes beat Tate. And Nunes, in her first defense, a fight that many thought she was going to lose, not end up being the case. As Nunes really proved that she's not just a paper champion, that she's a fighting champion, and a tough one, as she beat up Ronda Rousey. Now, there's going to be a lot of debate. By the way, 2.5 for that, just because it was short, but it was sweet. Now, a lot of people debate about whether or not Rousey should have gotten the immediate title shot. I said this about Anderson Silva. When Silva got injured, and when he came back, he did not get an automatic rematch. And guess what? That was the right move. I think they should have done that for Rousey, too. I think she should have gotten a warm-up fight, because she did not look ready. I know she's been gone for a year, but she's been focused on extracurricular activities, and did not look, especially piling up against Nunes. I think she should have got another fight in before going for the title. She should have never gotten an automatic rematch. I know she's Rousey, and should have got an automatic rematch. It's my new phone going off. Yes, for my wrestling fans, I got, you just made the list, Chris Jericho notification. Yay! A lot of Rousey fans said she should have gotten the automatic rematch because she's Rousey. But guess what? I think she should have got a warm-up fight. Because, especially up against Nunes, because I thought, like many others, I did think that Rousey was going to win. I like Nunes. She shocked the world against me. What's she going to do against Rousey? But you should have seen her striking. Because, like I said, Rousey cannot do well against strikers. She should have learned from Holly Holm. And she just got outstruck because she's not a striker. She doesn't punch. She's a judo Olympian, She's more of a judo fighter and more of a submission gal. So Nunes shocks again and beats Rousey. Now, we do have an interim title fight coming up at UFC 208 in February. There will not be a pay-per-view in January because there wasn't enough suitable fights for that card. So the original 208 was supposed to take place on January 21st, but then it got moved to February 11th. And that main event in Brooklyn will be the former champion, Holly Holm, going up against Jermaine Del Randami. Actually, that won't be I thought it was an interim title fight. Apparently, Holm's going to featherweight. Not bantamweight. She's going up in a class. I thought it was an interim fight. But it's not. And it's the first ever women's featherweight title. First ever. Because the only women's title they had was the middleweight title. And now they got a new title. The featherweight title. In the women's division. So that's kind of cool. And I think Holm will probably win that. Because it's Jermaine Del Randami. I've probably never seen her. Or if I have, I don't remember. So I believe that Holm will win that fight. And the card looks pretty interesting for what it is. I'll probably miss that fight. So I probably will miss that. I probably won't make a UFC review for a while because I'm busy a lot on these Saturdays. And after UFC 208, I'm going to be at a concert, a comedy event, and the Vine. No notifications. Good. I'm going to be at Adam Devine's comedy show. So I'll probably miss UFC 208, or I will miss 208. But I'll see the other UFC fights on the free cards, which I'll probably review a little bit, give my thoughts on those at my attack lines. And a lot of people, I'm looking on Twitter, saying that 2016 claimed another victim. Ronda Rousey's career got killed in 2016. And even a lot of people, especially wrestling fans, about CM Punk, he got trolled a lot after getting knocked out or submitted in UFC about 2 minutes in the second round. He said he lasted longer than Rousey because Rousey got knocked out TKO in 48 seconds. So, and Rousey's getting offered to go to WWE. And I think now she may end up going to WWE after getting knocked out again. And Dana's golden child got knocked out again, and now all he has left is McGregor, the only golden child. So, there you go. Upset City. I don't know if Rousey will ever lose. That's a good question. What is next for Rousey? After losing the title, if they're coming back, it's kind of like Silva. You know, Silva lost the title, then lost the rematch. But the difference was Rousey didn't get injured like Silva did. That gruesome knee injury during his rematch against Chris Weidman. So, there you go. Is Rousey going to stay in UFC? Going to go to WWE? Be at WrestleMania? We shall see. A lot of people are already seeing on the Facebook. I'm looking here. Ronda's career is over. She's going to WWE. So, that is it. Not just for this UFC review, but also for videos in 2016. This was my last one of the year. Overall, thank you so much for watching. Not just all my UFC reviews, but for anyone who watches any of my other videos, I'd like to thank you for supporting me this year. And let's hope for a kick-ass 2017. Have a happy and safe New Year's Eve, everybody. I will be DJing a private house party. And for the last time in 2016, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later, everybody. Happy 2017 ahead. Have a happy one. Safe New Year's Eve. Bye-bye.